I was just looking through it and I'm like, Zug Zug. Oh, that's totally Warcraft. Zug Zug.
What does that mean?
It means acknowledgement and agreement, or okay.
Yo! What is up, everyone? My name is Emilio, and this is Let's Roll Characters, the show where my friend Christian and I roll characters for D&D 5th edition based on different sets of prompts and parameters, ones that we come up with or that come from you, our fellow nerds.
That's right. We're fledgling DMs. We are obsessed with this game, and we are here to bring you, really, everyone's favorite part, the best part, character creation.
All right, Christian, let's roll characters.
Boom, 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 boom. Characters, gonna roll characters. So, normally we'd be rolling for ancestry, culture, class, background, and gender, and we're gonna do the first 4 of those things, but today we have a special request from our dear friend Kelsey London, who has asked us to come up with a female character for a new campaign that she's gonna be doing, and the only parameter beyond that is that she wants this character to be fun. So, Emilio, roll a d10 for Ancestry.
I'm going to roll a super fun D10. Here we go. We have a 9.
Emilio, you'll be so happy. Mixed Ancestry again.
Here we go again.
Okay, give us 2 d8s.
Here we go. A 3 and a 4.
First Ancestry is Elf. Second Ancestry is Gnome. We've got an elf-gnome. Give me a d10 for Culture.
7.
Oh, this is good. She is from an orc culture.
Of course, naturally.
Elf, gnome, raised by orcs, raised among orcs. Oh, this is going to be good. Give me a d12 for class, Emilio.
2.
Who's a bard?
When I think of Kelsey...
Yes.
Of course, a half elf, half gnome, raised by orcs, bard. I mean, it's the first thing that comes to mind.
D20 for background.
This is the first time this has ever happened. It's a 1.
An acolyte. Emilio, what are your first thoughts?
They played the piano?
So the first question that kind of I find myself wanting to answer is, how did this person get among orcs? Do we want to say that they were raised by them or just grew up among them?
I'm just imagining like a motley performing, like traveling music group of some kind. There's an orc town that really values interesting and unusual music. And so this musician went there because they wanted to kind of flex their musical muscles a little bit.
I like that, but here's the thing. With the acolyte background, what we're looking at is a character who, basically came from like a cult or something like that, or some sort of very, it's usually like a cult. They came from a cult kind of background. Here's the thing that comes to mind for me, and this reminds me of a story that my mom told me about her childhood, which was, she was raised in a relatively conservative religious home, but she loved sort of dance. That was the main thing. As a child, she loved to dance. And she was like 12 years old, and she was talking to her pastor one day. And the pastor said that dancing is sinful. And that was the day that my mom stopped being religious. And so I think about this character growing up in this cultist background, this acolyte background, but maybe something about them in their heart was about wanting to entertain or wanting to dance or sing or something like that. And that's why they left that behind. Now, do they find themselves later with this multicultural sort of like troupe? I think that'd be awesome. But those are the first thoughts that I'm having about this.
I love that. I could see a young, maybe fairly high society, or just from a conservative background, half elf, half gnome, that runs away from home and runs away to an orc village where music is more appreciated. Is this like, isn't there a movie? Is this Flashdance or something?
I have no idea.
I don't either. Yeah, so maybe they run away from home as a child and end up being taken in by an orc family that just really appreciates music.
Oh, yes, yes. Let's have them start in this sort of like cult, basically, and they run away from the cult because their soul cried out for sort of the art of music and dance and found themselves in an orc village that really sort of valued this.
Yeah, that is a great start, and let's add some more flavor with some ability score rolls. If you've been following our channel, you now know that Chris and I have our little competition here. We are alternating rolls and keeping track of who rolls the highest each week. I have no idea what the score is now. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
we'll
I know.
Get it on the back end. Oh,
it's you have 4 and I have 2.
And let's keep you back there.
We'll see.
All right, let's start with the strength roll. 4d6 and dropping the lowest. It's a 15.
Oh, very good start. All right, let's see here. So for a bard, we want charisma and dexterity, so let's hope for a good dex roll. And 11, 13, 14. 14.
Oh, it's totally respectable. Yeah. That's very high.
Respectable. Okay, what do we got for Constitution?
Constitution. This could totally be the jump stat, so I'm not going to waste my good roll here. Wow, yeah, definitely didn't waste anything here. It's a 7.
Oh, no, Emilio! Emilio! Oh, hear these bones? These bones are coming for you.
Oh, no, the bones.
Intelligence is 12.
Oh, boy. All right. Well.
Okay. All right. This is looking good for our hero, which is
got
this guy.
One shot to make this up. I don't think that's going to do it. It's 12.
12? Well, that's good. I mean, if I blow it with this roll, which hopefully I won't, because I would like to have a fun, charismatic bard here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh! 16, baby! Emilio, what is the score?
Math. It is 34 to me and a 42 for you.
Yes! Oh. That, I'm clawing my way back up. 3 to 4. Okay. 3 to 4. All right. It's happening. It's happening.
I sort of feel bad for the other players in this campaign, whoever they are, because they're going to have to contend with this pretty overpowered bard. Bards already can become really, really powerful if you play them the right way or if you kind of min-max.
Okay, so normally here what we would do is take a look at Subrace, but since we're using the Ancestry and Culture supplement, what we have here is sort of base stats. The Subrace stuff or the sub-ancestry or sub-culture stuff is still being worked out. And so we're just going to go with the base stuff here that comes from an orcish cultural background. And that is Strength +2, Constitution +1, and Proficiency in Intimidation. So, given this stuff, Emilio, we should take a look at the class characteristics and proficiencies here. What we're going to be able to do here is add 3 skill proficiencies, and then we actually get 3 tool proficiencies as well. And so these skills are all over the place. Like you were saying, the bard can be pretty overpowered here. And this is a good example. You can pretty much get proficiency in almost anything. And we get to choose 3 of those things. Now, the first ones that come to mind for me are things that have to do with charisma. And so we already have proficiency in intimidation. Maybe deception. Maybe there's sort of, she's good at talking her way out of things, even if she has to maybe bend the truth to talk her way out of things.
Knowing Kelsey and how she likes to play, it might be fun to give her something like acrobatics, something dexterity-based, maybe stealth or sleight of hand. I could see her kind of, picking people's pockets or, doing fun stuff with that.
Yeah, okay, let's do some acrobatics. Let's do deception. And let's do performance. Performance for a bard. And then she gets 3 tool proficiencies as well. And so these are just the instruments that she likes. And so What do we want to stick Kelsey with on these instruments? Bagpipes? How many bagpipes?
I think all the bagpipes that we can find. And is there any way we can get her to like carry a sousaphone of some kind? Or
Oh man, she would love a big old brass instrument.
I mean, this section won't necessarily affect too much about our backstory, so maybe we should leave this for her to choose.
You know what? I think that's a great idea. Perfect. Yeah, she'll be playing some instruments. I am going to just add bagpipes in our Roll20 Character Mancer because they're bagpipes, and so she should have bagpipes. That one is non-negotiable.
If you want this character, they come with bagpipes. We've really got something coming together here, especially the bagpipes. Christian.
Most importantly, the bagpipe.
Let's think about some other personality traits: ideal, bond, and flaw. Christian, we're going to start with you. Personality traits and ideal. What do we got?
Yeah, so we have two really good ones, I think. The first one is I misquote sacred text and proverbs in almost every situation. I just think Kelsey's going to have a lot of fun sort of jumping in character and being like, well, a wise man said, tie your shoelaces to your backside. And, you know, that'll just come off as really, really wise and perfect. And then the second one is nothing can shake my optimistic attitude. So let's remember that this elf-gnome has left her background in this sort of, you know, highly religious, almost cult-like sort of setting, and to go become a musician. So she's got to be optimistic. And then one that we thought really kind of reflects our dear friend Kelsey for the ideal, which is charity. I always try to help those in need, no matter what the personal cost, and that is very in line with at least how you and I think about Kelsey, and so I think that one really fits. So what do you think about Bond and Flaw?
So we've got a couple of good options here as well. For our Bond, we are going to have, I will someday get revenge on the corrupt temple hierarchy who branded me a heretic. So this character had to basically run away from this group of people just because she wanted to play music and sing and dance. And they called her a heretic just because of that. For this character's flaw, we have something that really seems to connect with their backstory. Once I pick a goal, I become obsessed with it to the detriment of all else in my life. So, I mean, this is really the reason that they ran away. They knew that they were meant to play music. And it'll be interesting to see now if Kelsey picks another goal that she also becomes equally obsessed with as part of this new story.
All right, we've got a great character coming together here. And so what is her name going to be, Emilio?
I suspect that she left behind her cult name and picked something else. I like the idea of her taking a sort of orcish name when she got to the village and was embraced by these music-loving orcs.
And we can even think about this as her sort of like liberated name, right? And so she found liberation among these orcs who were sort of accepting of all different types of people, and even sort of, you know, gave preferential treatment to sort of diversity. And so, yeah, I think it's great. She should adopt some sort of orcish name.
Actually, I'm going to Google the orcish word for freedom right now and see if...
Great. I'm going to Google the orcish word for song. Oh, boy. Lok'amon is a traditional orcish song sung about starting a family.
Oh, man. Lok'amon.
Lok'amon, and there's an apostrophe, L-O-K apostrophe A-M-O-N. That could be the last name?
That's kind of beautiful.
I agree. So it is beautiful.
The orcish word for freedom is Wugadzam.
Rough.
I'm not sure I like that so much.
Ondavo means ready to soar. That's like freedom.
Oh, that's good. So what? And so On'davo Lok'amon.
Yes!
On'davo Lok'amon.
Oh, man. It's so beautiful. Ready to soar, that sort of freedom piece. And then a traditional orcish song about starting a family because she has found her family among the orcs. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's perfect. Christian, I think we have it.
I think we do.
Yes. Now tell us about On'davo Lok'amon.
Okay, so Ondavo Lok'amon is an elf-gnome who was raised in a sort of acolyte cultish kind of background. It was a heavily sort of conservative religious background. And as she sort of, grew into maturity and came of age, she realized that her heart's desire was to sing and dance. And she was told by sort of the leaders of this cult that that is not okay, that in fact that is heretical. And you know what she did in response to that? She got the heck out of town, and she found where she would be appreciated for her hopes and dreams, which happened to be among a community of orcs who embraced her background, and really sort of nurtured her arts. And actually, she took the name On'davo Lok'amon on as a way of showing appreciation for the culture that gave her a home. And that is On'davo Lok'amon.
All right, Christian, do we have our character?
Yeah, we do. And now so do all of you. You can go ahead and click the link in the description below to get a PDF to bring On'davo Lok'amon into your game. And we know that somebody already is. Kelsey, please enjoy Ondavo. We think that she's pretty awesome.
As always, if you could definitely like and subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment on a character that you'd like to see. It's actually a lot of fun to put together characters with a little bit of inspiration or with someone requesting it. And it helps us to come up with new ideas.
Yeah, and thanks for watching.
All right. Go play some D&D.
Woo, woo, woo!
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Character, gonna roll characters.
Aw. Good night, Rohan.
Christian says good night too.
Good night, Christian.
Bye, buddy.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, Daddy.
2, 1. 16.
Nice.